Hello.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome
Hello.
to our show.
Yes, we got a lot going on today. It is May 20th, Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And look, Greg, look at my hair.
I know.
I'm trying to get it like
You
scooped.
look like a troll from the troll movies with their wackadoo hair all over the place.
I don't know. It's just kind of like, there he goes.
Yeah,
That's our daily ritual, our live show ritual.
I didn't have the volume down. Oh, well. What are you going to do?
We have I'm noticed people that are coming into the chat. We just came off a live show ourselves. We were on the Disney Nerd Herders. We were on there for 3 weeks in a row, and we've been talking about our favorite top 10 attractions
We have
in the
one
parks.
more week left next week with one more park.
So if you haven't had a chance to check those out, Disney Nerd Herders, they are great individuals. Definitely look at them. Greg, we got a fun guest tonight. We have Dean from The Life Place, Dreamers Empire, thelifeplace.com. So many different things he does tonight. And looking at the chat, he
does a lot of things tonight.
He does. And the rest of the 6 days of the week, too. But we have cruising supporters in here. We have Disney supporters in here.
Yes.
This is what we love to see.
We have our supporters in here, which are very nice.
So thank you guys for joining us. We have someone on our show tonight who supports family-friendly shows, and we want you to know more about him. But Greg, why don't you welcome everyone in?
All right, so hopefully I don't miss anybody. We got the Down Under Cruisers. They were first. Welcome. Fisher Fun Ventures, Rachel Loves Disney, MGM Family Travel. You're gonna,
I'll have to do
knock me off my chair or something. Captain Akron 27, PTV2, which is Ben from Pepper Tree Villa, Josh Odom, Cruising for Food, Whitney Castillo, Anthony Simone, Sherry Awesome Sunsets Travel.
I gotta switch it up.
Jonathan Chong, Spiker Crazy Adventures, Pepper Tree Villa, Rayleigh Creative Travel. I'm making sure I don't miss anybody. T. Marie Photography, Lucy MGM, James Ryan.
Wow.
Latoya Williams, Life is Good Today. Life is good today.
It is.
Alma and Tiffany Peacock. Welcome, everybody. So
welcome. Thank you guys for joining us, taking time out of your day to join us.
And I'll try to stay on top of it if more people come in as well. So I think we need to bring our guest on, and then we need to start some other things here.
So without further ado, here is Dean from The Life Place. Welcome, Dean.
Welcome, Dean.
Thank you, Derick and Greggory. I'm super honored that you would have me. And we've connected before on live streams, but I think this is the first time I'm on yours.
We are honored. And the one thing I like about you, you are like when during your live shows and that, you're very soothing. You're like,
thank you.
You're a calming figure. So in a world of craziness, you're there to just relax our nerves. So it's always great to hear you. And you do a great job with the lives.
It's really nice to hear you say that. And I'll just say, I have actually been told that before, but I think the same of you guys. And if I remember right, so with the Live Place, so a lot of people reach out to me, but I think I reached out to you, correct? To get you on the Live Place.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. And so there you go. I loved what you guys are doing. So
thank you so much.
We got Griswold Family Vacay, Big Noah Mountain 5, Laura B, the DePhilly Crew. I think I'm all caught up. Kay Atwood.
Welcome.
And I have a feeling I didn't say Sherry Awesome Sunsets Travel, but I did, welcome again.
She's awesome.
So before we get started, just a couple news announcements that I was kind of excited about. We do have mail here, but apparently they have maybe a tentative name for the second or the sequel to Avatar, which is the Avatar: The Way of Water. So that's telling me that it's probably going to take place mainly in their ocean life, which is going to be really cool because you see a glimpse of that in Flight of Passage. So to have that in the movie, I think is going to be really awesome. And then also, for those that have Disney Plus, coming July 31st, for those that are fans of the Muppets, We're going to have the new show called Muppets Now. I believe it's a 6-episode show. They need to have more, but I'm sure they'll do another season. But I guess it is centered around Scooter for most of the part, which is interesting. So he's going to be a bigger character in this. But yeah, the Muppets are back, and I'm excited. I like that Disney has the rights to the Muppets, and so that's going to be cool when it comes out. And then we have mail time.
We do. We also had some other people that I dropped in. Happy cruising, welcome. Did we also, Greg? Did we say hello to Anthony Simone? I think we did, right?
We might have, yes, but welcome. Happy cruising. I think we are up to date now.
All right. So we did get
Russ
mail.
Stapleton and James Ryan.
Welcome. We did get mail today, or at least I picked it up today from our PO box. It is from Lori Ebeck. So she did send us some stuff earlier. What are you reading? Sorry.
I popped it up.
Like Mr. Rogers. Yes. Very good analogy. All right. So we have this opened up.
We have
here.
no idea what's in here.
We have not looked at this yet. And we got a little bit. Oh, it looks like we got some more masks, which is awesome.
A lot of masks.
I do work in an essential business, so it's awesome to get
Welcome,
the support.
Place.
This is the second time she sent us, and it says, "Hi guys, Rachel asked me to send along more masks." So that is so awesome.
Thank you very much.
And
that's really cool.
Rachel loves Disney, which is a huge supporter of us.
Ooh, Star Wars.
So, oh wow! So this is one of them. That is awesome.
And then there's a second one.
This is another one.
Harry Potter!
Yep.
And Spider-Man. That is awesome.
Spider-Man. That is such...
Those are fun.
That is awesome. We cannot tell you how much appreciative this is. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So Rachel, again, thank you for... You're always supporting us.
Michelle Bellin, welcome.
And we appreciate everything that you do. And definitely we'll reach out to
Thanks for looking out for our health.
Yes, definitely. All right, guys. Again, thank you. We have Cruising Family in here. We have the Disney family in here. And we also will have a Spotlight channel that we like to do.
More sunshine, please, with Jim.
Welcome, Jim.
We just opened up our mail that we got from Lori. It was different masks. Star Wars, Disney, Harry Potter. They're pretty nice.
It was really awesome. Thank you so much. So Dean, a little bit about you. I'm always interested in finding why someone takes the plunge to become a creator. You originally started with, was it the Dreamers Empire? Is that where you started?
Yep.
So a little bit about that, and then transitioning into DisLyfeOfOurs.com, which I believed was the next thing you did. And then it also now you do your Live Place YouTube channel. So if you want to take it away.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so first off, I just want to say, and I always feel bad when I can't respond to all the chat, but I see so many people that I really love and appreciate out there. So thank you for being here and being with us. So the Dreamers Empire name, I won't even go into why I came up with that. Let's just say it was largely influenced by my love of Walt Disney World and Walt Disney and what a dreamer he was. And so anyway, in the 2008 or 9, my brother and I decided to create a 4th of July celebration where we created different elements of Epcot. The biggest thing was Soarin'. That was what started it all. We thought, could we build a homemade version of Soarin' in his pole barn? And he's got a lot of room, and it was really exciting. And we spent 3 months working on this. And on the 4th of July, we had our Soarin' ride. We had illuminations that Bob, my brother Epcot Bob, put together, and we had a Mexican-themed deck with a Club Cool station. So that was what we did. And we filmed it all, and we put it on YouTube. And I want to say it was 2009. And we put it out there one night, and the next day it had 10,000 hits or something
Oh
like
my.
that. Yeah. And the reason it did was because I posted it on Disboards, and it really just took off. People just loved it. So that was sort of the start of my YouTube channel, and really didn't do much with it until later in the 2000. Man, I get mixed up on years. I want to say it was in 2017 or 18 we discovered Resort TV 1, and kind of through that and their live streaming, we went live a few times, and I got this itch to get into live streaming in some way. And I had this idea for a website to kind of organize live streamers that were family friendly. And I was toying around with the idea, and I have a developer who lives actually in Nepal, and I told him about it, and finally one day he said, let's just do this. And so we did, and he created it, and from there we started slow. We had a few channels like Resort TV 1 and Michael K and Vibe Project, Our Theme Life, Road Trip Dave, Disney Life for Me. Now I'm going to get into all of them. And it started slow and it took a while, but all of a sudden there was a growth period where it was just a ton of live streamers coming on. And so the site has kind of tried to grow with that. We have 90 live streamers now. You guys obviously are some of the earlier ones, I think. I can't remember how long ago it was, but I think you were quite a while back. And so there you go. That's kind of how I got to the live plays.
Awesome.
And then you, with the Life Place YouTube channel, you're doing that a lot more. You're using that to premiere one of the things that a project that you're working with, More Sunshine Please, as well as RobFuz, and it's called The Fifth Gate, which we actually, it was me that was on it. I believe I was on the second episode. What's a little bit about what The Fifth Gate is?
Yeah. So, and it was just really fun to have you on, Derick, and you were on, I think, with Road Trip Dave. So I had an idea quite a while ago. I've been wanting to do some kind of different shows. To me, I was just thinking about ideas, and I was thinking about this fifth gate, this fifth theme park that they've always talked about building at Disney World. And so I thought of a show, and then the first person I contacted was Jim, who's in the chat here. And I just, obviously everybody likes to get Jim on their show because he's really good at this. I asked him, he was interested. So as I was putting the idea together, also talked to RobFuz about it, and he's obviously a great live streamer. So the three of us got together and we planned out 6 episodes to talk about what would we do and what would the viewers do if we could build a 5th theme park at Disney World. And so, Derick, the one you were on was fun because it was just what ride ideas, if I remember right. And so you and Road Trip Dave came on and shared your ideas, and they just blew us away because they were much more creative than I think we were imagining they would be. So yeah, we just did our 5th episode last night where we talked about design with Charlie at Disney Nerd Herders, and we've had Josh from Resort TV 1 on, and who else? I'm forgetting.
Yeah, Pepper Tree Villa, Disney.
Yeah,
Charlie.
That's right, Arnie and Pepper Tree Villa, and so yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I want to welcome Disney Nerd Herders, and then where'd they go? To Travel and Tour and Captain Akron. They just came in. I don't think I missed anybody else.
We did.
So,
we had
MG Tal I saw in there.
Yep. So welcome guys.
Everybody.
Thanks for joining us. So our show, we like to rotate between Disney. We like to do cruising because we are explorers. We have Dean for the people that are just joining us. He's from thelifeplace.com, Dreamers Empire, and he supports so many different channels out there, family-friendly channels.
Is Blaine in here too?
Blaine, yeah. Well, it's now Rayleigh Creative Travel.
Oh, okay.
So he took the Blaine off of it.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, because he does have a channel. Blaine is another huge supporter of the cruising community. And then we also, did we meet or greet the magic of Mouse TV?
I didn't see them, but
So,
welcome.
Yes.
Bob and Ashley are trying to see the chat, and I guess they can't see the chat for some reason on their end. So hopefully everybody else can see the chat.
Yeah, that's good, or not good, but
Bob, if you can hear me, you might have to reset, like take it down and bring it back up, and it should come up hopefully. And happy birthday to Bob. Yesterday was his big milestone birthday, so
Happy birthday.
Want to say happy birthday to Bob from Bob and Ashley.
yes.
Bob and Ashley are other live streamers that are hosted at the live place, and they go live on Sunday nights.
All right, so let's I'm trying to get my cards in order here because I also have my cards from the last show that we just did on Disney Nerd Herders. Okay, so you said when we were messaging earlier that you've been to Walt Disney World 20 times, and if I'm right, and Disneyland 10 times.
6 times.
6 times. Okay. So either way, that's a huge amount of travel time because you're up in the middle of the U.S., right?
Yeah, Minnesota.
So that's, either way, that's a travel. So what is your, since you have experience in both, which helps us because we also have experience in both parks, what is, first of all, what's your favorite resort? So Disneyland or Disneyland Resort or Walt Disney World Resort?
So I've never stayed on site at Disneyland. I've stayed near the parks, but never at that Disneyland hotel. I don't even know what's there, to be honest. So my favorite, at Disney World, I have a favorite resort that I go to because I can afford it. And I have a one that I wish I could go to. And then I have the best one that I've ever been to. So you want all three?
Yeah.
The one I go to usually is Pop Century, and now with Skyliner, it's my go-to place. Contemporary, I've stayed at twice because of business travel. So that was really nice because I was able to bring my kids when they were young and stay right on site at Contemporary, which was amazing. And then the one that I want to stay at is Polynesian, and I've never stayed there.
Yeah, we like Pop Century a lot as far as the value resort. So
we had only done moderate.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed at I stayed at the Caribbean. I haven't
been there.
The Coronado.
And then been there.
Yeah, you did. We just recently went to the Coronado. That
was wait, yeah, that one. Okay, February. Sorry.
And then we also stayed at
Port Orleans Riverside. That's the nicest one we've been to so far.
Yeah,
nice there.
So we only did the moderates, and then we only chose Pop Century because we were going on a Disney cruise.
Oh, I actually got in. Cool.
And it's a lot less expensive to stay like at Pop Century, especially if you're backing it with a cruise. So the last 2 times, no, that I'm lying. It wasn't because we went to Coronado. But,
why are you lying to everybody?
I have no idea why I'm lying. But it definitely was worth it cost-wise, and we enjoyed when we went there. We've been to the Pop Century twice. We would recommend it out of all the value resorts. So
it's a lot of fun. It's very well themed.
Where did you stay at? Where do you stay when you go to Disneyland? What hotels?
So let's see. Nothing special. I don't even remember, to be honest. I remember my brother and I had to go to Las Vegas for I did some training, and and Bob had just gotten let go from his job and had some time, so he came with me, and we drove to Los Angeles because we really wanted to go to Disneyland. And so I don't remember where we stayed. It was a cheap motel, to be honest.
Our recommendation is Candy Canaan, which is actually this is the Disney property, the entire thing. It's actually would be connected to like here in the corner of it.
Oh, Adventures is like your backyard.
Yeah, basically. So it's within the block of the Disney property, but it's not technically Disney property. In fact, on the other side of it is the mountain of Radiator Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
So we like that for the convenience. The cost is actually pretty good because for some reason they don't charge all these different fees. That if you have like a room for $150, usually get the fees spiked up where it's over $200. This one isn't as much when you stay there, and it's still expensive, but it's about, depending when you go, it's about $220.
It's a charming, endearing place, and when you leave, they usually give you. Well, they used to give you physical $10 off coupons towards your next visit, but now they just email it to you. I guess to save on paper. But that's a prime piece of real estate because Disney has been trying to have them sell that part of land, that piece of land to them, and they keep refusing no, which is cool. That's good of them because they're making a lot of money off of that. What are you looking?
No, I'm just putting things in there.
Sorry. But yeah, they it's really nice, and they have probably one of the best continental breakfasts that you could ask for, at a resort like that or a hotel like that.
You can really fill up before you go into a park, which I love to do.
Fill up on carbs.
I'll say this, that we stayed at either the Swan or Dolphin once, and we're excited to because you could walk to Epcot, but the additional fees really frustrated me. It sounded good, and then by the time we left, it just kept getting worse and worse. And I always think, even if I end up paying the same, if it just keeps getting worse, then it becomes a worse experience. So
yeah.
Welcome, AGC Magic TV.
Hey,
what is your favorite out of all the parks you've been to? What is your favorite park?
Okay, I prepared for this. So most people that know me know it's Epcot. That's my favorite park. But I do have. Are you going to ask me a comparison between California and Florida in that regard?
Yeah, you can do that if you like.
So I don't know if this will alienate me from anyone, but I love Disneyland Park way better than Magic Kingdom at Florida. I mean, way better. It's so much more intricate, I think. The rides that I compare, the Space Mountain or the Pirates of the Caribbean, there is no comparison. It is so much better in California. It's a Small World is better in California. So I did want to say that I love Disneyland Park.
We agree with you.
So Epcot still is your favorite though?
It is. It's because the futuristic aspect of it, or at least that it tries to be, and the space. I like having space. I just enjoy it. Yeah, it's in my favorite ride is there, and so.
I think for both of us, our favorite park is Disneyland because that's where it all started.
Disneyland, and then Magic Kingdom for me after that.
Mine is Epcot, is my second park.
I think they need to really give Epcot a good overhaul, I think, and make it more futuristic like it should have been, and add more things that are going to attract more people.
Well, you heard they have movable walkways now, so when you can get on it, it's like an airport. You just go right to the attraction that you want, so you don't have to exercise. Just kidding.
No.
I'm like the 15, Derick.
There you go.
Didn't they only have that like on Spaceship Earth part of it, or no? It was all walking, huh? There was no.
That was at the end of it. They would have the the thing, but they stopped that. Okay, so what out of all the parks you've been to, what is your favorite attraction?
Welcome to
So it's changed, and I'd like to hear your guys as well. If you told me, I forgot it, but my current favorite attraction is going to sound reflective of my age. It's Living with the Land. The reason I love it so much is because it captures, well, it's mostly a dark ride attraction, except for when you come out into the greenhouse areas, it's not like dark, but I love the music in it. I love the theme of it. The Land Pavilion is my favorite pavilion at Epcot, so I love going into there. And let's just say for when Bob and I do a lot of our trips together, our first place to go when we get down there is the Land and go on Living with the Land. So that's my favorite.
We like that also. That's a fun ride, and we did the behind the scenes tour of that, and that just adds even more to the ride
The
itself.
magic. It's one of those people talk about. I know Jim loves the People Mover, but it's one of those attractions which kind of gains the popularity as it goes with time.
Hi, Mom. Welcome.
I would say my favorite attraction in any of the Disney parks. Wow. Possibly, I would probably say Space Mountain at Disneyland. That would be my favorite one.
That's
Great one.
That's hard to even choose. If you like narrow it down more, I could do it, but I'd probably say Space Mountain actually also
At Disneyland, not at Magic Kingdom.
No, at Disneyland. I mean, I like the one at Magic Kingdom because I like the noise that it makes, and that it's, the way that they do it with the tube way where you're like back to back. Although the one in ours is like side by side, so that's fun too. The one at ours is good.
For food, I'll just say could not be happier to see the tombstones go away. So.
The at the front of it where all the people's names were.
Oh yeah. Welcome, Chad Cruisers. Just came on.
Welcome, guys.
I thought weren't they going to move those, or they just demolished them all together?
They're moving them out to the front, I believe, outside there.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. At least people don't we have to worry about having them demolished.
We also had Kevin Brubaker join us, so welcome, Kevin. We're getting close to half into the show. I left my spotlight. I don't know where I put it, but you know what?
We'll just use the phone as a spotlight.
There we go.
Put it by your head. We're just improvising here.
So I didn't do a great job of preparing, but while we're doing this, if you guys have a channel, we'd love to support you. Put that in there and a little bit about your channel, what you have going on, so other channels can go over there and support you guys. And I'm almost ready to get it going here. Okay, so
Mom, you're not late. Don't worry.
Hello, Mama Berthel. So for us, we like to at sometimes show some, we call them Super Explorers, where we have fans who really support us. And this one is here almost every single week.
And I have no idea who it is because you didn't keep me in the loop this time, or like normal anyway.
That's all right.
But I have a feeling I know who it is.
So now you can see it. So
that's not who I thought, but cool.
Super Explorer is Kay Atwood. So
Kay,
she's such a huge supporter. I see her on so many different Disney channels. We just can't thank you for enough. I was thinking, looking back at, there's people that you see in your live chats all the time, and she's always there. So Kay, appreciate the support. This is a special shout out to you. And again, thank you for all that you do for us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Same from me. Kay is so faithful to be on the streams, and then when she on occasion can't make it, she'll always comment later. So yeah,
definitely, yes. We have also going on a little bit about the channels. We do have another cruise-a-thon coming up this weekend. If you go, we're not in it, no, but there is another.
Well, I didn't hear about it.
Cruise-a-thon, yes. So if on our D&G Explorers, if you guys are not following us on Facebook, we will be posting that probably, if not today, we'll have it in there tomorrow. But we do have several channels. I believe some of them are inside here. Some of them have already been on them, and some of them are going to be doing the live chat. So it's a cruise-a-thon. It's for the cruising community. It's a great chance for you to go out and get to meet some new channels. So we do have that going on.
And that's going to be the all day from 7 to 9 our time?
Our time. So it's 10 to 10. 10 to 11 Eastern time. 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. So there's a channel starting every hour. Yep. All right. Let's get going then.
You made Kay Atwood blush. Aw. Said you guys are so sweet. She's blushing.
What is your favorite? Oh, I already asked you that.
Welcome, Disney World Freak.
Carlos.
Yeah, welcome, Carlos. What is your favorite restaurant? We'll do Walt Disney World, and we'll also do the Disneyland Resort.
Oh boy, Disneyland. Oh, I know what I'm gonna say. So I'll start with Disney World. Did you guys? Oh yeah, you told me your favorite rides. Space Mountain was Gregory's, right?
Both of
It was
ours.
both of ours for
Oh, it's both.
Disneyland. Yeah.
Okay. I love Space Mountain. My favorite restaurant at Disney World is I'm gonna stick with. Oh, it's really close. The Cellier is probably my favorite, but I don't eat there as often now since it's no longer a single credit on the meal plan. So I've only eaten there 3 times, I think, and once after, and it's really expensive, but I love it.
That's the one in the Canadian resort, Canada, in Epcot.
Canada. Yep. And my favorite that I go to, or I try to every time, is Ohana's at the Poly.
We have not. We actually had Ohana's booked on our last trip or the trip before that, and we ended up backing out. I don't know what we did instead, and I don't know why we backed out of it. That's one of the places we have
I think
not
it was
been.
timing or something like that.
It might have been. I think we were going to spend time in the parks, and that's because we were only in the parks for 2 days, and we didn't want to commit to that much time out of the park. So it was time based. But we've done the Spirit of the Luau is Spirit of I forgot.
Oh, I've never done that. Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah,
and then we've
that
gone
was the
to,
one that I got picked up on the stage, and I wasn't feeling very well that day, and I was wearing a really like you could pick me out in a crowd, which she did. I was in a blue Hawaiian shirt, and I see her walking around. I'm saying, "Please don't pick me, please don't pick me." And of course, she came right up to me, pulled me up, and I had to like wiggle my bottom and everything on stage. So it was a lot of fun. I got into it, but yeah, it was cool.
Wow.
MG Toe was saying that they missed the Chicken of the Sea restaurant at Disneyland for tuna sandwiches. When I went there, that wasn't open still. So unfortunately,
I only know of like the McDonald's fries that they had years ago, and they stopped doing that at Disneyland.
And then the other thing we ate at the Polynesian was the Kona Cafe.
That was a good one.
We had the Tonga toast.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was
really good. I've never had that, but I've had sushi there, and I've had what was it? Some kind of a pork thing. I think it was at breakfast, and that was really amazing.
What was that? What was that one we went to with Chris recently? It was like a Africanish type theme.
Oh, it was over in
It was a weird.
It was in
name.
Animal King, Animal Lodge. Starts with a J, I think. I can't even think of the name of it, but it was one
Jonga or something. No.
Something like that. It's probably someone in the things to know the names of the restaurants inside the Disney Animal Kingdom Lodge. Welcome, Daniel Fields. Thank you for joining us. What about at Disneyland?
So it's got to be the Blue Bayou, but I will tell you my best memory of the Blue Bayou was from quite a while back. I think it was the mid 80s that I went there. And it wasn't the renovated one. It was more kind of authentic, I felt. And we sat right on the edge where the rides go by. And, you know, in the distance, you have the bayou kind of the house and the crickets and the frogs and whatever noises they're channeling in there. And I remember what I had that I loved, which doesn't sound amazing, but it was their, what do you call that sandwich that you serve with jam?
The Monte Cristo.
Monte Cristo, yes. And it was delicious. It was
yet to try that there. Definitely we need to try that. A lot of people talk about that, but we have not done that either.
Yeah. And the one at Disneyland that I keep hearing about and I've never been to is a notch above that, but I forget the name of it. What is the high-end restaurant?
There's one in
There's a couple of them.
It's in the California Adventure.
The Cathay Circle.
Cathay Circle, yeah. That would be the
one.
That one's really nice, but we were in there in shorts and we saw other people that were dressed up and then other people that were in shorts. So at that point we didn't feel so bad anymore. But the pricing is a little high, but you're also in that kind of an atmosphere. So I think it's worth it to try it at least once, if not more than once at some point.
Okay.
I would say that would probably be the equivalent to the brown derby. I mean, it's a very
That's the one.
high one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the brown derby is even higher class than the Carthay Circle, because they had, isn't that the one where they had the aquarium and everything too in there? Or am I thinking of the Blue Reef or something?
The Coral Reef.
Yeah, the Coral Reef. That's two.
Yeah.
They're like across from each other.
Peppetreville is saying Napa Rose, which is inside the Grand Californian.
Napa Rose. That's the one I was told. I'm sorry, I got confused. Napa Rose, I've heard a lot of good about.
I mean, it was Jico. That's the name of the restaurant that we ate at in Animal Kingdom, and that was really good.
Napa Rose. I would like to do at some point.
Yeah.
What about, what places did you like?
I would probably, I'll base it on where we mainly eat at. And it is the Trattoria Wine and Country, I believe is the name of it.
That one's a nice one at California Adventures.
You are eating on outside where they do like the wine tasting it, and there's a building and you can eat out on the patio.
The boardwalk.
Yeah. That's in California Adventure. So that is definitely one of the ones we like to eat at.
Mm-hmm.
We have been eating at the Blue Bayou more frequently. We don't normally like to eat there because of the cost of it. But we also eat at...
no Speedos in Disneyland, sorry.
We eat at the Plaza Inn.
Welcome, Jane and Travels.
We love the fried chicken. And Greg's favorite word, the chicken is moist. It is incredibly moist.
I dislike that word. I do not like that word.
But have you ever eaten at the Plaza Inn?
I have not.
It's really, really good. They have like you can get strawberry shortcake, and it reminds me of the strawberry shortcake you can get at the Hoop-de-Doo Review. It's a good, if you've ever had that, it's a very good strawberry shortcake. So we got all these places for you to try next time you go.
Well, yeah, I want to come out to California, and so if I come, obviously you guys will show me around, and
definitely.
I feel like Jim should come with. He's a great guy to be with.
and definitely Peppetreville will be there. They have if you are like sitting on a curb, they'll know when Walt Disney sat there and what he said.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's crazy. I've watched Arnie go, and Doug talk about these things. It's amazing.
Thank you, Jim, for putting Dean's channel in here. I think we said it, but welcome, Jane and Travels. Thank you for joining us. Wanda said, my boys like the Cozy Cone Motel, and those are interesting food in a cone. Yes, during Halloween time, we had one. The cone was black.
Derek tries these things.
Yeah, it was black, and a black kind of like a pretzel cone, and it had mac and cheese, but it was kind of spicy. Like
it had like jalapeno. Red stuff on the top of it.
Yeah, and it had like bacon in it too. And I was always concerned with how it would... We'll just leave it at that. But it was very interesting food to try. And
you can hear the joke on the vlog if you watch it.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. It's family. But how are we doing on time? We got about 20 minutes. So coming up after us is a This and That for the Disney family, who always put on a great show. For the cruising side, there is the Ship Show. And they call it the Ship Show because it's a polite way of saying anything can happen. Amazing production that these guys do, but sometimes things go wrong on their set. But both those channels, either ones, you should check them out.
Well, some things go wrong on our show, like you stick your foot in your mouth.
Oh yeah, I would say usually it's mentally because of me, not because of technical issues, or I pressed the wrong button or something like that. So we have some kind of questions for you. Now you kind of answered some
more than some kind of questions we've been asking already.
Yeah. So I like keeping the parks rides separate. So for example, I love the fact that Cars Land is in California and is not in Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why do I need to go to Walt Disney World if the same attractions are in the park in California?
Well, you have other attractions that we don't have that would be in Walt
They
Disney
are.
World.
So,
I know what you're saying, though.
like I didn't, although I'm happy that Mickey's Runaway Road is going to be coming to Disneyland. I'm not happy with it at the same time. I'd rather go to Hollywood Studios and see it there and experience it than have it also at Disneyland too. Because that's one less thing that I feel I have to see in the park. But saying that, they do have attractions that are popular in both parks. So we're going to go through the list of some, and some of them are written down, but there's also other ones that maybe people can put in the chat. Dean, you might have some more. Greg, you might have some more. But
so this is our Who's Better segment.
Who's better?
And I have to warn you, I haven't been on everything. I've not been to Cars Land, so.
Okay, so yeah, those ones we didn't put in, but we wanted to compare.
Disneyland and Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, so you're well, most of these you're right. Most of them are at the Magic Kingdom. So let's compare Space Mountain.
All of them are
between
for the most part.
Disneyland Space Mountain and Magic Kingdom Space Mountain, and why do you choose one more than the other?
For me, it's Disneyland. I don't remember all the reasons why, other than I remember the queue I liked more, for sure. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Disney World one is 3 people in a row. Isn't Disneyland 4 people side by side?
Yeah,
well, 2 people side by side.
2 and then 2
by
2. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I like that aspect of it better. Beyond that, I don't remember a lot, but I just remember the feeling that I got at Disneyland Space Mountain was almost like I was in a Star Trek set when I was in that queue. It had a bigness to it. At least that's the way I remember it. Whereas Disney World feels a little more tunnelish and enclosed. So, California.
As we said, it's one of our favorite rides. James Ryan was saying that Hyperspace Mountain in Paris trumps them all. We were fortunate enough to be there during the 25th anniversary. That was one of the attractions I was dying to ride, and I got sick.
We liked it, but it was too much. It was like Rock and Roller Coaster space version. So, I mean, I would go on it again, but I didn't do it anymore because Derick wasn't feeling well.
I had to sit down for like
I want to go
10, 15 minutes because I was like, my head was spinning. It's like the Rock and Roller Coaster, but for some reason it seemed smoother, I guess. There wasn't like that slow, like when it does like a barrel roll. So I don't know if it was quicker that way that it made me get me messed up, but I was so disappointed because that was the ride, like one of the main rides I wanted to ride, and I couldn't handle it.
I like ours at Disneyland because I don't know if they're going to do it anymore, but they would do Ghost Galaxy and they would do, what is it called again? The Star Wars one?
Which one? I'm sorry.
Star Wars one that you just said?
The Galaxy, something Galaxy.
Yeah, that one. So the Star Wars and then Ghost Galaxy. I like Ghost Galaxy at Halloween time. You don't like it because the projections, you said, mess you up. But
they had one called Rainbow.
I like
something.
the
Ghost Galaxy, is it?
Yeah.
They had one that had like a rainbow thing. I forgot what the name of that was. And it's the way they put projections. By the time my eye focuses on it, it's that pulling of my eyes when I'm trying to focus it, which gets me sick. And it was doing that. The Star Wars one doesn't do it as bad, but I would prefer to have no overlay. Because I enjoy it. And Pepper Trivella says the soundtrack is fun on the Disneyland version.
I wish they would do a retro version where they bring back the old song for Space Mountain where it sounded like a bonsai pipeline surfer type song. And they don't do that. They don't have it anymore. You know which one I'm talking about, don't you?
No.
You have to. I'll play it for you later. Then.
Okay. Oh, the original one?
Yeah, the
Kinda
original,
like the surfer,
that ring type of thing. It's like bonsai surfer sounding.
Your mom likes Tinkerbell
and all the princesses.
Yeah,
yes,
and I always say Tinkerbell is a villain.
Yeah, we always have a debate with her that she's a villain, but we won't go into that right now.
All right. The second attraction you had mentioned is Pirates of the Caribbean. Which one do you like better, and why?
It's not even close. It's so much better at Disneyland.
Yeah.
The queue, the beginning is so much better. You feel like you're having that bayou experience, and I can't remember all the details of it because it has been a while, but it just settles in my mind. It was far superior.
Yeah, we like the story and the flow of ours better than how they do it at Walt Disney World. But the theming and the wait area is a lot grander than the one that we have.
I like the beginning of the walkthrough before you get on the ride at Walt Disney World, but the story that the one at Disneyland tells to me is a better story. It makes more sense than the one. To me, it's not even a story in Walt Disney World. They kind of chopped it up and moved it into different pieces. It's a smoother story in Disneyland, and I would agree. Disneyland is a more funner. Is that the word? More funner?
Yeah. Funner is not a word.
Funner.
Welcome, Eric Newman.
I have to say, just as a quick story, and I have told it before, but my first time at Disneyland was in 1974 because, I'm a little bit older, and I was 14. Bob was 12 and my sister was 8. And we went where there was the ABCDE tickets. And at the end of the day, my mom and dad said they had 3 tickets. What would you like to ride? And no question about it, we chose Pirates again. And they said, we'll wait for you here. And we had to run through a fair part of the park to get to it. I was just like having a surreal moment. I'm running through Disneyland, going to my favorite ride without my parents. It was awesome.
Independent.
Welcome, Disney Boffins. Thank you for joining us from the UK. That's late over there.
Welcome.
They're 8 hours ahead of us, so that's pretty late in the morning over there. Thank you for joining us.
Flamingo Pam, welcome.
Welcome. She's getting ready to start a long trek back home, so be safe. Okay, how about Jim's favorite ride? We know which version he likes better, but Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain. I'm gonna have to say I don't know. I don't remember enough about California. I like Florida. I don't. What's the difference?
Jim has a lot of fun memories of California with a tidal wave of water that came over him.
Jim got drenched more than I've seen.
It's like
any person.
Welcome to Disneyland, Splash.
Yeah. To me, the bigger difference is in Disneyland, you're in a single tube, like you're stacked behind each other.
That's not true.
In Walt Disney World, you sit side by side, so it's almost like the opposite of Space Mountain. The vehicles in the reverse in the parks, but I feel that the Disneyland one is more decorated, more themed. There's more to look at. The Walt Disney World one, when we ride it, it seems more simple. There's 2 little.
I don't really remember the Walt Disney World version. If I've been on it like once.
I noticed how it looks less.
It's always closed when we go, it seems.
That too. And then Disneyland has like 2 little bunny hills that when you go on it, you get drenched when you go on. And that usually, because you're sitting at the angle, usually the water goes down up your jean shorts, and you're like, so
it's not because of the train, is it? Where they have the drops like Pirates has.
It might be because of that.
See, they need to put a train in that area, and they'll have more drops now.
But it's basically the same ride. But I also like the ending on the one at Disneyland better. I like where the steamboat is. I like the one that looks like that in Disneyland better than Walt Disney World or Magic Kingdom. So for me, I would say Disneyland's version is better.
Pepper Tree Villa thinks the story is easier to follow in Magic Kingdom. I don't really notice the difference. I don't remember MK's that much. I just remember ours. So, and even ours, we don't go on it as much.
Charlie and that said they're going to hold off on going on it. You have to go on it at least once. All right. They
lower the water pressure when it's in the colder seasons. They're not going to have you freezing, when you get off of it.
How about Big Thunder Mountain Railroad?
Yeah, that's another one I'm going to say. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's because I said I've been to Disneyland 6 times, but the last time has been it's been over 5 years. So I don't remember.
For Greg, what's your favorite one?
Well,
Nurse Nancy.
between those two, I would probably say Magic Kingdoms. But if we were going to add Disneyland Paris, then I would say that one takes the cake out of all of them, because that one has its own island, and you go under a tunnel that's under the water to get to the island. So
it's almost like the attraction being on Mark Twain. Tom Sawyer's Island. Not on the Mark Twain. On Tom Sawyer's Island. Imagine the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad going out to that and then going around in it.
I did not know that.
Jim, from what I heard, they lower the water as far as getting splashed as much when it's the colder season. But you weren't there during the colder season, so they just amped it up for you. They said, "Jim's here. Welcome to California."
And there was a lot of weight in that vehicle too. And Jim was at the very front of it. So
wow! What are you trying to say about Jim? That he was top heavy or something, or front heavy?
No, there was a lot of people in there.
Hi, Nancy. Welcome, Nautical Nurse Nancy.
But I like Magic Kingdom one better. It's longer.
Yeah.
I like the different areas. It's themed different. Disneyland is tighter knit. But I would say Disneyland Paris would be
They all have their own charm, though.
That Disneyland Paris one is possibly my favorite ride in any Disney park. Possibly.
Yeah, I would maybe probably say that too.
All right. So how about It's a Small World?
Oh yeah, no choice. No comparison. California by far. It's it goes outside. It has now I haven't seen it in person, but the projection mapping that they have on it is amazing. Yeah. And all around, I remember loving that much better in California.
They decorate it really nice for Christmas too, and they do projections during Christmas also.
The biggest thing I do not like in Walt Disney World is that it's under a tent.
And it's pushed inside, in a cupboard type of a thing.
Yeah. So that the separate building, the castle they use in Disneyland makes it so much more enjoyable. And I would agree. Disneyland, I think, is a better version on that.
Yeah, too. It looks like a toy castle on the outside, and you go into it and you see all the little children of America, or the nations and everything.
We'll do one more attraction. The Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just do the last one too?
Yeah, that's not really.
I'm just gonna say now that one. My recollection is I like California better, but I can't remember all the reasons why, other than that it was just part of the original, where Walt had his hand in it, and so I don't remember specifically enough. So I'm kind of in between on that one. I'll leave it up to you experts. You guys know what you're talking about.
Excuse me. I mean, I like Disneyland's, but because they can do the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, but then Walt Disney World, it's longer, and the parts that you walk through in Disneyland, you actually ride through it, Magic Kingdom, and then they have the whole area with the steps that lead to nowhere, and there's footsteps going, and it just seems longer and grander. But I still like the one at Disneyland, and we have the Hatbox Ghost, and hopefully Walt Disney World would get him at some point.
And we have the bullet in the glass too.
Oh my gosh,
Disney World doesn't have the bullet in the glass.
Oh.
Yeah. It's I guess somebody had brought a gun or something like that. I guess it was a gun on the ride.
The ballroom scene.
Yeah, and it shot off and cracked the glass. Well, they had to helicopter that whole pane of glass into the ride when they built it. So you would have to take the whole top off to redo the glass. All right. So they just covered that little hole with a spider web. So, but you can still see it though.
Yeah, we always, every time we run it, we're like, there it is. But yeah, it's just like it's not like big old crack in it. It's just like a small little bullet hole, and they put the spider's web over it. So you have to really look for it to see it.
Which one do you like better?
This is probably the toughest one because I enjoy both. There's things I like about both one. If there's any ride that would be kind of uncertain, probably because there's a Hatbox Ghost and the changing of the season to give it a different view, I would say Disneyland.
Yeah, I really like the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, and I'm glad that we're the only ones that do that. You have to mention the last one. We put Tower of Terror on there, but ours isn't Tower of Terror anymore. And Walt Disney World, their Tower of Terror was different than ours when it was Tower of Terror. If that makes sense.
I've not done the Guardians version, so just California, Florida. And by the way, that is the one attraction that I do get queasy on, so I don't even go on it very often.
I don't think I can even compare them because they're two different types. If it was our regular Tower of Terror in Walt Disney World, I would probably say Walt Disney World was better because the whole elevator went out into the hallway and you would see the ghosts and everything, and then it would go into the elevator shaft, and then that's when you would drop. But the Guardians one is like a huge block party with the music that they play and stuff. Everybody gets in on it and has a good time. So I can't even, it's two different types of experiences. I can't compare them.
I don't know if it's the one when they play
Michael
the Jackson 5 one.
That's when we were on with Bob and Ashley.
Yeah,
that was really fun.
My feet were literally like elevated. It was a blast. We had a great time.
Disney Nerd Herders Disneyland had the gunshot in the big pane of glass at the ballroom scene in the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Well, we're coming up to the top of the hour, so we'll wind things up here. Want to give shout out to Dean. Thank you so much for joining us. We've been wanting to have you on the show for a long time. Your support for the Disney community, the family-friendly channels that you push.
Hey, RobFuz, welcome.
We are honored to be a part of that. We thank you so much, RobFuz. We don't have our horn. There we go.
Wow, that was a horrible horn, but okay.
But thank you for all that you do for us. We need to get you up to 1,000 subscribers.
Thank you.
Yeah. The support you have for everyone, you definitely need to be there.
Well, thank you. And I'll just say, as far as, I've had slow growth because mainly because I haven't had any regularity to my shows, but now I'm doing a show every Sunday night at 8:00, and I alternate between my news show, one kind of a variety show, a trivia night, and then now I'm starting one on podcasting, so I won't explain that. So Sunday nights at 8:00 Eastern time is my regular slot now. And thank you for all the nice things you said. Thank you and it was nice to meet people in your chat that I'm not used to seeing. So this was a lot of fun for me. RobFuz is one of my partners. So great to see Rob. Jim, of course, More Sunshine is on the Fifth Gate with me. And, thank you. I'm kind of babbling.
No, you're awesome.
Thank you for being on the show.
Yes. And we were mentioning it offset. We love your background with all the different attractions that you have.
All the retro posters.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's sort of not perfect yet, but I'm working on it. It's getting there.
That's cool. Welcome, Michelle the Quilter. Thank you for joining us. We are about to sign off. We're at the top of the hour. So I think we're going to head out now. We do have a video that we're not going to be putting out this week. It is we're coming towards the end of our NCL Escape cruise. And then after that, we will be having our Disney cruise on the Disney Fantasy. It is Star Wars Day at Sea.
Beautiful ship.
So we do have a lot more cruising stuff coming on. We have a lot of stuff in the pipeline, whether it's Disney parks, Las Vegas. We just need time to put the stuff out. So
well, we definitely have time right now because nobody's can't go anywhere or anything. So,
but with us being an essential business, it's hard for me to have the time to edit everything. But we'll get it out there eventually. We have to go at D&G Explorers pace. But with that, guys, If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to Dean. Let's get him up to the and also it looks like MGM Family Travel. Subscribe to you. So great job. Thank you, Jim, for putting that in there.
How do you end your show, Dean, when you do your show?
I try things, and I'm not sure it's caught on yet, but I say this. Where's this quote from? I say the end, or should I say the beginning of your future.
Do you know
I
what
love
that's
it.
from?
It's from Epcot.
Awesome.
Somewhere in Epcot.
Spaceship
All right.
Earth.
There you go. So, Greg, as we like to end our shows, I'm Derick.
And I'm Greggory.
But if you forget our names, it's okay, because I'm Little Explorer.
I'm Big Explorer.
And as Walt Disney once said,
we are just getting started.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Thanks again, Dean.
Bye.